has Russian propaganda evolved recently? What do you think?
Good evening. Yes, it evolved, and we have noticed that Russians have stopped to label Volodymyr Zelensky as president of Ukraine. It may have some psychological reasons. I'm a lawyer, not a specialist to comment. But there is such a phenomenon. The other is the impact of Israeli-Palestinian war, and it got a lot of attention. But we will see whether it is a clear trend or maybe it's just some correction.
Yeah. We know that propaganda, this is something which exists always. Always. And if we are talking about Russian propaganda, we know that it's many researchers about this, that Russia usually divides people into this segment, I don't know, a wealth level, education, geography, and work with each of them. How Russia divides Ukrainians and how it works?
Yes, it divides Ukrainians because there are different messages for pro-Ukrainian audience and for pro-Russian audience. And there is a middle group between these 2 points. And for each of these 3 main groups, there are separate messages, and it also depends on the, for example, Russia may be working uncovered with pro-Russian audience, and the messages for pro-Ukrainian audience should be covered, should be in Ukrainian language. The persons or the bots or some even people who are trying to look like Ukrainians in social media and so on, they should be with black and yellow strips and in Ukrainian language and so on, to be like Ukrainian and to get this audience.
And when we're talking about well-off societies and poor societies, how does Russia propaganda work? Is it any difference between, for example, European Union's countries and African countries? And we know that Russia works everywhere.
Yes, there is difference because European countries, it's not a single group. We have Eastern Europe, which have been in Eastern Bloc, in Warsaw Pact till 1989, and they are aware of what is Russia, at least the elderly people. And Western Europe, it may be more problematic. And talking about African or other, even Asia, people from Asia, it has a lot of affiliation from the past. We may see it even in the Israeli-Palestinian war, because in the past, Soviet Union supported Palestinian and Arab nations, and the United States supported Israel. And from generation to generation, there is a memory about this support, about this affiliation, and they work with it. And also they use some affiliation, like Ukraine is a friend of United States, and if in some countries the United States has not such a good image, it may be used very well by Russian propaganda here.
Returning to the beginning of the full-scale invasion, we remember very well the situation, how the whole world was watched, how Putin tried to grab Ukraine in 3 days. Yes, we all remember about it. Does this mean that Russian pre-war propaganda against Ukraine was sort of effective?
I don't think
the whole world was sort of prepared for this full-scale invasion.
This impact was the result of some prognosis and some of the work of intelligence officers in the West. A lot of intelligence officers predicted that maybe not 3 days, but maybe some weeks, and Ukraine failed. I don't think that this is result of Russian propaganda. They just have been shocked by the difference in the forces comparing Ukraine and Russia.